these men here in Singapore. They like to wear their OCS, singlets and everything too, after, even long years, decades after they ORD'd.
When I finished my BMT, I also used to sort of wear my OCS singlet in the gym quite a bit. It made me feel
Powerful, okay.
in that short span of time. So of course you don't go into a professional setting with flip-flops,
Yes.
That's the line, yes, that's the line.
1, 2, 3, yeah!
Hey everyone, I'm Allan Wu and welcome to another exciting and hopefully educational episode of Call Us Daddy. All right, this is a very fashionable but also very, very tricky question that I'm going to have to tackle myself. Hopefully not by myself right now because I have with me the perfect guest to chime in on this debate. He might not be a daddy, but he is a beauty king. Please meet Joshua He. He is the one. He was Mr. Singapore 2022 and was a top 10 finalist in Mr. International 2023. Hello, Joshua.
Hello, Alan.
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
My
Good.
pleasure to have you. And let's not forget today's episode is brought to you by the sleek, stylish, and oh so sophisticated OPPO Find N5 phone. This is not just a gadget, it's also a fashion accessory loaded with many cutting-edge features. It's also super slim, super sleek, like I said. It's perfect accessory for the modern man that wants to up his style game. So we're gonna talk more about the N5 later, but for now, let's dive right into it. Let's start talking about men, Singapore, fashion. Are we cutting it or are we just not making the cut?
Nice. Let's do it.
Let's do it. You ready? So
Ready.
I'm gonna ask you, do Singaporean men have bad fashion? Do they have bad fashion sense? Or is it just the weather's fault? What do you think? And honestly.
Singaporean men's fashion.
Yeah.
Very good question. No. Honestly, I think we're just practical and we choose comfort over anything. So with that, Singaporean men's fashion might not be the most stylish, but we do emphasize, like I said, practicality and comfortability.
Joshua, can I ask you, when it comes to fashion, obviously you're very, very fashionable. Very, very fashionable in my eyes. Maybe to someone else who's in the fashion world, you're just kind of fashionable and everything too. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in terms of being fashionable?
In the eyes of fashion brands, maybe not so much, but on my own scale,
To the average man, to the common man like me, the plebeian, the plebe.
I'll give myself a humble 6. I'll give
6?
6.5.
If you're 6, then
half.
honestly, what am I?
No.
I'm actually really, really dressed up right now. What would I be?
Amazing. No, you're a 10. Easily a 10.
嘴巴太甜了, this guy 太会说话了. No. You're definitely way more fashionable than me, but I thank you for respecting your elders like me though too. Thank you very much. No, but I think obviously when it comes to fashion, it does take effort. What is your motivation to dress up? Is it to impress others? Are you just very, very, do you think you're vain at all? Do you think, obviously it takes effort. Like what is your motivation to be fashionable?
Back to just now, what I mentioned, first impressions are very important to people. People are, to a certain point, to a certain extent, shallow, judge very quickly. So to avoid all the kerfuffle at the beginning, to make a first good impression, I would try to dress a bit better. But getting to that point, I have tried some weird fashion trends. I have worn questionable outfits here and there, and then I've from there received feedback, and then don't do this, don't do that, and then do this, do that. So from there, I also refined my choices a little bit more, and then which is how I got to where I am.
And I just want to go back to that question where I asked you based on rate you on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how fashionable you are. You gave yourself a 6. I would, and I'm sure the audience would agree, would probably give you at least an 8. And if I had to rate myself, I would probably give myself at most a 6 because I'm in entertainment, but I'm probably a 5. Why do you think Singaporean men have this maybe stigma or have this stereotype of not being very fashionable?
I think it's really because of the humid weather conditions in Singapore. I think that's the main driver, right? If not, I think we would all love to maybe layer up a few layers of clothing here and there and play around with it a little bit more. But I think weather is the main driver. So, and yeah, again, Singaporeans, the uniform of Singaporeans dressing is that white standard oversized t-shirt with shorts, right? So to maybe up that a little bit, you can just change it to a little bit more of a fitted t-shirt, and then shorts with a sharper length. That's it.
But when you think of a Singaporean man, do you think that is their staple uniform?
Most likely so. If now you were to walk onto the streets, it's usually what you see.
Yeah.
Singaporean men dressed like that in flip-flops or sport shoes. That's mainly what they wear.
But I think you probably wouldn't wear such an oversized cut, I think. Probably more fitted, because I can tell you probably do spend some time in the gym and work out.
Right, exactly. So if I do spend time in the gym, I do want to show it off a little bit sometimes here and there, right? So fitted clothing can also be, it just looks more put together.
Yeah, definitely. I prefer fitted, but I mean, sometimes I put fitted on everything I'm trying to show off though too, but I'm not. I'm just wearing clothes too like everyone else, you know? Wait, let me ask you this. What about, I think you see a lot of these men here in Singapore. They like to wear their OCS, you know, singlets and everything too, after, even long years, decades after they ORD'd. Do you consider that very fashionable? Or do you think that's kind of like a little bit passé? Or
I don't judge, but when I finished my BMT, I also used to like sort of wear my OCS singlet in the gym quite a bit. It made me feel, you know,
powerful,
in that short span of time. No, but the novelty wore off also after a while, and then I sort of switched to more athleisure outfits, so things that are monotone, and also usually these clothings are more functional also.
I mean, I guess right now, obviously, because of the weather, because I think the current state of affairs, when it comes to, let's say, Singaporean men in fashion, what could they do to kind of correct these fashion faux pas?
The more obvious fashion mistakes, I mean.
Just to look like me.
No, definitely not, no. Like the boxy oversized t-shirts, maybe a little bit of the outdated baggy jeans pants that are a bit way too long, that sort of thing. No, way too long. Those are way too long. Yeah.
I'm old, so it's okay, Joshua, you know. You young people, it's your time to shine. I had my time to shine and it's over. Yeah, please continue, sorry.
So it's those things, but there are many quick fixes for these sort of fashion mistakes as well. Okay. So switching out things for a fitted t-shirt, switching out, playing with the color combinations as well, and then just ditching those outdated fashion trends. Yeah, you have no need to follow them. But also, more importantly, to focus on the details, like having proper grooming, keeping your hair neat and tidy, and also to have good posture. I think that goes a long way in how you look.
I think posture is key. Okay, so let's say, what do you think would be the ideal outfit for a man in Singapore, not necessarily Singaporean, in this type of environment, in this weather, where they look fashionable, but are still able to, I think, enjoy what they're wearing in this hot, humid weather?
If was one tip that Singaporean men could dress more fashionably, it would just to be wearing pleated pants. Pleated pants, that would be my tip. So you can wear whatever shirt you want. You can wear a t-shirt, you can wear a shirt, you can wear a button-up, a button-down, you can wear a long sleeve. But if you were to pair it with a pair of pleated pants, I think that would like sort of bring the look together so much better.
With pleats, you're saying with pleats, right?
Correct.
But with pleats, it becomes a little bit more formal too.
It does. Although there are I cannot remember what's the name. Oh, it's called a edge taper. Edge taper pant where there's a line that goes all the way down. So that is more on like the borderline semi-formal kind of look. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can just wear that with a t-shirt, and you will look casual enough.
How about let's say wearing flip-flops or thongs or slippers? Can you wear? Could a fashionable pair be okay? Would it be acceptable in the eyes of a fashion guru like you right here?
I don't wear them to events.
I wish I could say the same, you know, but I don't either too. Yeah. Not to events, definitely not.
Yeah, but there's a time and place for them, definitely.
If you're at Sentosa, TPC, or at a beach club, then it's okay, I think, though, too.
Definitely. Yeah.
In terms of fashion, right? I think you look at the Gen Zs now, the way they dress versus, let's say, millennials, or I'm actually Gen X. So I'm actually pretty old. But do you think people now, young people, do you think they're dressing better now, regardless of being in Singapore? But let's just say Singapore because we're here. But do you think young people, this new generation, they're more stylish or are they like less stylish? What do you think? Do you think they're more practical? Versus, let's say, I'm not your typical Gen Xer, but let's say compared to millennials.
I'm still considered Gen Z, thankfully. Gen Zs, I think for fashion trends, social media plays a big part. And then I think social media helps us, or sort of made our fashion sense into more of like an extension of our personality, in fact. Okay. Extension of our individuality, that sort. So we tend to be more adventurous and to be more experimental. with our fashion choices versus maybe say our parents' generation. Maybe it's a little bit more conformative to society standards, or just maybe wanting to fit in a little bit more, right? So Gen Z, maybe a bit more experimental. Yeah.
I've seen your Instagram feed. You're always very, very well groomed, well dressed. Is this the way you normally dress, even when it's not, let's say, posting on social media, or is it something that you, I mean, for yourself, when you're, let's say, not in front of the camera, do you like to make an effort to always dress up and be very well groomed?
Social media is definitely a curated highlight reel of my life. Yeah, it's a curated bunch of posts. I do not look like that every day. It's tough to look like that every day. And anyway, for my work, I'm in finance, so I tend to do dress up for work to represent my company appropriately and to be professional. But apart from that, I dress quite casually, quite laid back. Flip-flops, t-shirts sometimes.
Oversized half shirt?
Fitted.
OCS
Still
singlet?
fitted. No.
Fitted
Not
is
anymore.
key. I think fitted is key, huh?
Yeah. Not like skin tight, but just not super droopy.
Not just all super baggy. I think that's key.
Yeah.
But I think it's easy for you because you've obviously invested time, energy, and money into the way you look. You know, I think a lot of times for a lot of people, maybe they know they haven't spent that time to actually go work out and take care of themselves. Bad posture, maybe a little bit obese, have a little bit of love handles. Hence, they're trying to wear something more oversized too.
Right,
In that
makes
way,
sense.
Singapore's environment, the conditions here are very unforgiving, right? Because we want to wear less clothes. But there comes a conundrum where I want to wear less clothes, but then I don't really like the way I look with less clothes on. 怎么办? 怎么办? What's going to break here, right? What are we going to
Right.
do? And I think also like what you said makes a lot of sense though too. Social media, I think, is also, do you think it's actually helpful then for fashion? Or do you think it's also, I think, can it also be, I think, I don't want to say destructive, but also have a negative influence because people become very aspirational. And then they see someone like you, like so well dressed, well groomed, they're like, shit, I can't look like that. Whether he has filters on or not.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, it gives you like, I mean, if you're someone with obesity or you're struggling with weight loss, and then you see so many like, sort of in their eyes, maybe unattainable beauty standards, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of things are corrected by Photoshop, so they are really like they're not real, in a sense. So, but I think it comes down to really just finding your style, right? Finding your style, finding what fits your body type well. Fitted, maybe not for everyone, but I think fitted not for everyone, but also baggy not for everything. You know.
Well said,
So,
well said. But I want to ask you this random question. I think you probably have come into contact with a lot of influencers, KOLs too. When I go to some of these events sometimes, I see them on my Instagram or Facebook or Xiaohongshu or something, and you see them in real life, you're like, holy mackerel, this person looks completely different than they do in real life. Has that happened to you too? Where you see these females or these guys and they look really, really good on my little phone, you know, on my OPPO Find N5 phone. But then I see them in real life, like, this is not what I paid to see, baby. Do you ever get that?
Right? No.
You know?
All the time.
All the time. See, all the time. So for all of you that aren't influencers, take heart knowing these people are not what they look like in real life. I'm actually about this tall. My amazing producer there makes me look taller, you know? He just looks this good because he is a fashion guru. Me, I just do my best to try and fit in with all you young Gen Zers.
No way.
You know?
We're all this short.
No,
We're just here.
No, but it's cool. But I think it's good. I just want to let people know that though too, because I think I would, like you said, just so it's aspirational, but it can be unattainable because people always want to look their very, very best on social media, right? In terms of fashion, the way they look, their body, their build, you know, their curves, you know, their hair, their grooming. But it's not always that way though too. But I think I want to also check with you too when it comes to fashion. I think when we're young, we're still trying to find our place in life. Being a Gen Z, right? You're younger versus me being a Gen X. Obviously, I might be an exception to a typical Gen X because one, I'm old, but I'm also in entertainment. So I guess the way I look also does play a part versus someone that's typically going to be 52, 53 this year old too.
Right.
So I think as we get older, maybe our priority to you know prioritize fashion is probably not as high as someone that is younger and wants to look good. Do you think that's true, or do you think it's do you think everyone, or do you think fashion is ageless, is timeless, or do you think based on, you know, becoming a parent, getting older, does that play a part in terms of how important fashion is to us?
I think fashion is really of great importance actually. I mean, to each his own, but I think first impressions are important. I think people are by nature judgmental, right? And then you judge people off first interactions by just looking at them. You're already judging them unknowingly, unintentionally also. So I think people would like to look decent and they would like to be judged well.
Yeah.
So despite how many commitments you have, or if you have no fashion sense, or if you really don't know how to dress at all, you would still want to dress well. So I think fashion is still important. If you do want to dress a certain way, go for it. I think people would still place a great importance on how they look.
I always tend to try and veer on being more detailed, like more like just not well dressed. That way people have not such high expectations of me, like dressing like really, really well. Probably that's why I'm just kind of stuck where I am in my career. But I know obviously in banking, making a first impression is everything, right? If you obviously don't make a good first impression in life, it's hard to kind of work your way up, I think, though, too.
I mean, with a simple t-shirt, it's more or less enough.
Yeah.
And then you work out, so it's good.
If there's one advice you could give, I think just overall advice you could give to Singaporean men or just Singaporeans in general when it comes to fashion, like what would it be?
You can just do whatever you want, as long as you feel comfortable wearing what you like. And then whatever you're dressing up in, as long as you're okay with how you're being perceived, or if you don't care about that at all, that's great. So just dress however you like. Yeah, but also for appropriate situations. So of course you don't go into a professional setting with flip-flops, you know.
Yes.
That's the line, yes, that's the line. Yeah,
That is
dress
line, yeah.
for occasion. Dress for occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
How just in terms of, let's say, material, like in terms of like what type of materials is good for a Singaporean man to wear? Let's say cotton, or would you go more synthetics, or linen, or nylon, or what?
If it's sports, lycra, spandex materials, that's what usually people go for, right? But now there's a lot of fabrics that intertwine spandex, lycra with cotton. So, and then a bit of nylon here and there. So maybe full cotton, not so much, because full cotton is hot.
It's hot, right?
Yeah.
And
So
it absorbs all the moisture too, right?
it does. Although I love knitted, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's okay. He's the exception. It's okay. Rest of us, you cannot wear it. I'm just kidding.
Bamboo fabrics, linen. I love linen shirts actually. Linen everything. It makes you look like you're in Bali all the time, and you also look like you're appropriately dressed. Linen white shirts. I think neutral colors, pastel colors work. If you're a guy that likes monochrome outfits, do that. Just play around with the tones of colors. So if it's black, just try a bit of grays, a bit of whites.
Okay, just keep them all kind of consistent in uniform.
Exactly.
All right, Joshua, I actually have a surprise for you. You've given me so much information about fashion, about the way men should dress here in Singapore. Now it's your time to shine. What I need you to do now is just to close your eyes. So I have a surprise. Close your eyes. Don't get too excited. But I would need you to get excited because I would be excited if I'm getting this too. Open. Voila for you.
Damn.
Damn, do you know what it is? Open side and take a look. This is not
Okay.
just a bag of hot coal. This is the all-new OPPO Find N5, and it found you right here, loaded with all the new features and everything too. All right, Joshua, so what you're holding in your hand right there is the world's thinnest foldable phone. When you fold it like that, it's 8.93 millimeters. And when you open it up, it's like a tablet in your hand that fits in your pocket. How cool is that?
Yeah.
How's the screen look, the LED?
Very thin, very bright, very sharp also. Yeah, it's nice.
This is way more than a gadget. This is like a fashion accessory, right? If you bring this, I'll be like,
Essentially.
wow, this looks pretty cool, pretty sleek.
Yeah, I will get compliments on this.
That's all about
Probably.
compliments.
Yeah.
And wait till you take some pictures with it. The pictures are amazing. But I think what's really amazing is it looks like a standard like candy bar phone, the thickness of it, but in actuality, it is so thin. I can actually do a split view. Let's say I go to Instagram right here. I'm on Instagram right here. Look at this. All I have to do is swipe down with 2 fingers. Then it splits view. I can have IG on that. I can, let's say, go to any of my apps right here. I can go to, let's say, Facebook. And then there we go. I have both IG, Instagram, and Facebook right here too.
Nice.
So I have a split
Multitasking.
view right here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Joshua, since I'm on the topic of apps and not just abs, do you have any apps you can recommend to, let's say, men aspiring to be more fashionable?
There are a few. I think everyone has Instagram. Instagram Explore page where you can search up hashtags for fashion trends that you want to follow on. Explore page is a great way to search for outfits, search for what's trending now. Personally, I use a bit of Pinterest here and there.
Okay, yeah, Pinterest is huge.
Right, to find outfit inspirations for events, or when I am lazy to think of a outfit for the day, I'll just be on Pinterest.
So I think this phone is a lot more than just a gadget. I would consider it even a fashion accessory. On that note, how important are accessories to be fashionable?
Accessories, I guess, they complete a look, right? For example, if you were to wear pants without a belt. Yeah. Although right now, without belts, the look without belts is quite trendy. But I think sometimes more or less having a belt with your belt matching your shoes sort of puts the look together a little bit more. Yeah. So on that note, other accessories like necklaces and rings and wristlets or bracelets, they add a lot of character to someone's outfit. Yeah. Like if I were to see someone with accessories versus someone without, that someone with accessories might just stand out a little bit more. Right? Yeah.
You guys are just too cool for me.
No way. No.
No, but it's awesome. It's good. Okay, cool. Joshua, I've been using the new phone here, and I must say one of the coolest features is the touch to share function, which allows me to easily transfer files from Android to iPhone. Also, it's loaded with the latest technology from AI, that's artificial intelligence. Some of these features include AI call summary and AI toolbox. So I really hope you're excited to use this all-new OPPO Find N5 phone.
Love to start using it right away.
So definitely for all of you, check out the all-new OPPO Find N5 phone right here. Pleasure to have Joshua He sharing with us his views on the state of fashion here in Singapore. Sounds like we're in a good place. We could do better, but it seems all right. We're all we all want to be practical, want to be comfortable, but there's always room to push the envelope and look even better. Maybe one day I can aspire to look like him. Maybe not this lifetime. Maybe my next 下一辈子下一次我实在太老了. But hope you all enjoy this exciting and hopefully, like I said, educational episode of Call Us Daddy. And if you do like it, definitely do like it, subscribe, and share with your friends, because we're not just about having fun here, we're educating you on men's fashion. Thank you so much, Joshua.
Thank you.
And see you next time. See ya.
Okay.
Get in here. 3, 2, 1. Okay.